shall reflect on the life of Saint Jane Frances de Chantal. Born on the 28th of January 1572, Saint Jane was barely 18 months old when she lost her mother. Educated at home by private visiting tutors, she grew up to a comely woman with a keen sense of judgment and a lively temperament under the influence of her father. At the age of 21, she married Baron Christophe de Srabutin, who left her a widow after barely 7 years of marriage, with 3 young daughters and a son to look after. Pious and excessively austere in her lifestyle, Jane exercised the twin virtues of patience and humility, working diligently at educating her children. A visit to her father at the age of 32 brought her into contact with that great master of the spiritual life, Saint Francis de Sales, to whose spiritual care she entrusted herself. Vowing never to remarry and to always obey Francis in all things, she deferred her plans for entering religious life in deference to his advice, until in the year 1607 he disclosed to her his own plans for an institute of women, which would have been a haven for women who, for reasons of health, age, and social status, were denied entry into other established orders. He envisaged a group of women who would primarily imitate the virtues exemplified in Mary's visitation, and secondly, engage in spiritual and corporal works of mercy. Having put her affairs in order and ensured that her children were provided for, Jane, together with 2 of her companions, assisted at Mass celebrated by Father Francis de Sales in his chapel on the 10th of June 1610, and each received their rule from him before retiring to their convent, thus signaling the foundation of the order of the Visitation of Our Lady. They pronounced their first vows a year later, but the revision of the rule under the Bishop of Lyon in 1613 did away with the external works of charity and brought in the cloister. On the 23rd of April 1618, the institute was raised to the status of a religious order by Pope Paul V. By the time of her death at Moulins on the 13th of December 1641, there were already over 80 convents standing testimony to her zeal for perfecting herself and her followers in the spirit of the order. Along the way, this woman, whose name is the feminine version of John, which in Hebrew means God has mercy, encountered great sufferings. She grieved the death of her mentor, Francis, in the year 1622, and in the year 1627 lost her only son in battle. She suffered the effects of a plague that ravaged France, experienced agonizing spiritual aridity, and endured the torments of the dark night of the soul. She was beatified by Pope Benedict XIV on the 21st of August 1751 and canonized by Pope Clement XIII on the 16th of July 1767.